Okay, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jianmin. I'm from Huawei. So today I'm going to present a new type of technology, which is focused on access technology, NB-IoT. So yesterday, most of the session is talking about the application case, use case, and the business case. And today I will focus on the access technology. Some of the application vendors or the platform vendors may think that the access technology, I don't care. It's a black box to me, and it's a pipe to me. I don't need to care about access technology. But I should say that, in September this year, the standard organization, 3GPP, already accepted the work item of the NB-IoT. And hopefully, June next year, the standardization will be frozen. So that means in the H2 next year, hundreds of operators, telecom operators, will commercial this kind of new technology. And because this is a standardized technology, so it can be used in any country, in any vendor's network. So that means in the H2 next year, the operators will build the biggest IoT network in the world, which cover all the countries. So I think this is the biggest opportunity for every company. So that's why I need to take some time to introduce the NB-IoT. Okay, before I start my session, let me have a brief introduction about Huawei. And Huawei is a telecommunication company which provides a product and a solution for wireless, for fixed line, for IoT, for the enterprise network, for device, and for the chipset. And right now we have more than 100,000 employees working for Huawei. Okay, then let's move to the first part about our vision in 2020. So yesterday, some speaker already introduced the vision for IoT that in 2020 we'll have about 19 trillion US dollars value created by the IoT technology. From the connectivity point of view, from the access technology point of view, our vision is that, in 2020, we will connect 6.7 billion of the people in the world. That means almost all the people have their MBB connections. And also in 2020, we will have 1 billion things to be connected. So here, the 1 billion things only focus on the cellular IoT technology. And the NB-IoT is part of the cellular IoT technology. Okay, next, let me introduce about the NB-IoT. So what is NB-IoT? Actually, NB-IoT is deployed in the licensed spectrum. It's different as Sigfox or LoRa. It's using licensed spectrum. And the second is using a narrowband, which means you only need 200 kilohertz to deploy this network. Actually, NB-IoT network is not an isolated network. It's a part of the current IoT network. That means you can reuse current IoT network to deploy the NB-IoT. You can reuse the antenna, reuse the RF module, reuse the baseband unit, and reuse the spectrum. So this is the biggest benefit for the telecom companies. That means they just need to upgrade their software. No need any change in their hardware to quickly launch this kind of service. Okay, then let me introduce what's the target market for the NB-IoT. Actually, NB-IoT is not focused on all the IoT applications. Some of the IoT applications provided by the other technologies. For example, the Zigbee, the Bluetooth, or by the current 3G, 4G network. And the NB-IoT is focused on the LPWA IoT market, IoT applications. The LPWA means low power and wide area. Low power means that the power consumption of the terminal is very low, which means the cost of the terminal can be very cheap, and the power consumption of the terminal can be very, very low. So according to our calculation, that the power consumption for the NB-IoT terminal can be used for 10 years. And according to based on the price, the chipset price is about $1 US, and the module price is about $5 US. This is very cheap. Wide area means that it have a very good coverage network. You can deploy your sensors everywhere. So to summarize in one word, the NB-IoT is targeted for the market, which is 3A, 2E. 3A means automotive, which is connected car. And asset tracking. Asset tracking is especially for the mobile asset tracking. Agriculture, like the smart farm and connected animals. Energy utility, like the smart meters, the gas meter, the water meter, and the grid meter. And environment, which means using a lot of devices to detect the temperature, humidity, and the pollution of the air. So typically, we have 3 use cases. The first is the pet tracking. The second is smart parking. And the third one is smart meeting. So today, I will detail introduce these 3 typical applications one by one, especially focus on the business case and the use case. Okay, then let's go to the first one about smart parking. So in some countries, especially some cities, it's difficult to find a available parking lot. So the reason is that the parking lot is not connected. You cannot remotely inquire which parking lot is available or not. So in some countries, for example, in China, we already have some parking lot connecting to the internet. You can check the status. So right now, the technology are mostly using the fixed line technology, and some of them using the 2G, 3G technology. So here we make a comparison between the 2G, 3G network and the NB-IoT network. So because 2G, 3G, they have a good coverage, of course, but in the parking lot, some of them is underground, maybe -1, -2, right? So for some, the 2G, 3G is a shortage of coverage in this kind of scenario. And also, the connection for 2G, 3G is expensive. The terminal price is also expensive. They cannot install one device in every parking lot. So they introduced a relay, which one relay can connect to about 20 parking lots. But for NB-IoT, because the terminal price is very cheap, so they can install the sensors everywhere. They can install the sensors in every parking lot. And also because the coverage is very good, it has about 20 dB coverage gain compared to the GSM technology. So that means even in the -1, -2 parking lot, you still can get the coverage. That means you don't have to use the relay. So by this means a lot of cost is saved. For example, the relay station, you can save about $1,000. And also the maintenance cost can be saved about $120 1 year. Another reason is that the connectivity cost. For every 2G, 3G connection, the parking lot owner must pay about $33 per year. But here we will introduce another type of business model for the NB-IoT, which means the value sharing business model. That means the connection is free. We don't charge for the connection. But we charge based on how much money you saved using this kind of technology. So in this case, we make a comparison for the 5 years total cost of the parking lot. We find it can save about $1,780. And then maybe you can share $1,000 to the operator. So by this means the parking lot owner can still save $780. So both of these two parties can get a benefit from this technology. And for the operator, you see, if using the 2G, 3G connection, the revenue of 5 years revenue is only 180. But if you're using the NB-IoT technology, the revenue is 1K. So I think this is a benefit for both parts. And the second case is about the pet tracking. So I don't have the actual data about how many doggy is lost, because when they come out, they cannot find a way back. But we have make a survey in China that many people prefer to pay $3 per month to keep their doggy connected. So whenever the doggy moves to everywhere, we can check in its location. So for the operator, we can get in the connection cost, $3 per month. And also, the operator can develop some value-added service. For example, we can provide a remote health check and provide the tracking. For example, we can set a digital fence to restrict the moving area of the doggy. When the doggy moves out of this fence, it will send an alarm. So operator can provide this kind of service to get the benefit. So this is another kind of business model, using the service to improve the revenue. The third case is about the smart meter. So right now, many countries already deployed the smart meter, but most of them are using the 2G GPS technology. So just now, I already said the GPS technology is short of coverage, especially for the meter. Some of the meter is installed indoor, and some of them are installed underground. So for the NB-IoT technology, they have 20 dB gain compared to the GSM. So it's very suitable for this kind of scenario. And for the business model, so first we can charge based on the connection. So here we tackle 1 million household, for example. Every connection we can charge $1 per month. So here we get $1 million. And the second, we can provide the big data analysis for the third parties. And of course, the big data analysis is very useful for this kind of scenario. For the end users, the big data can provide which period, which in this location have less power consumption. So the grid company can provide promotion and can provide a more discount for the usage in this period. So the users can, for example, can recharge their vehicle in this period to save the cost. This is one use case of the big data. And the second use case is for the grid companies. So if they get this data, it's easy for them to troubleshooting which area have a power shortage, which area have a power outage, and so that he can send engineers to this location for troubleshooting. And also this data is also useful for the government. So the government can make a judgment which area is rich area and which area is a poor area. So because the rich area may using more power consumption. Okay. And also, in some cities, some of the countries have kind of a real estate bubble, right? So many of the house is empty. Many of the apartment is empty. So the government can also use this kind of big data to make decision which apartment is empty, to give a statistic about this city. Okay. The third business case is to share the revenue with the grid company or with the water company, because using the smart meter, the power consumption can be saved. Okay, these are three cases, and we also have some brief introduction about the other applications. The first is about the smart water tank. So in every building, we will have a tank to store the water, and how to check the water is leaking or not. So they have to send engineers to check, right? So in this case, we can install a sensor in the tank. If there is any water leaker, they can send an alarm to the management office. The second case is the smart dustbin. So in this means the trash company don't have to send workers to check the dustbin one by one. You just install the sensor in this dustbin. In case it's full, it will send a message to the companies. And the third case is about the smart street light. So with the NB-IoT network, you can remotely turn on, turn off, or tuning the light. The fourth case is about the water conservancy. So using the sensors to detect the health of the water. So in case the water is too high, it will send an alarm. And the next is about the smart agriculture, using a lot of sensors to detect the temperature, the humidity, and the chemistry component of the soil. And the next one is about the moving assets management, especially useful for some rental companies who rent the bulldozer or rent the cars to manage where is their assets. Okay, then I will give a summarization about the key advantage of NB-IoT technology. So the first advantage is that it's much more reliable, because the telecom network is kind of a closed network. It will have very critical authentication to the subscribers. So this is very safe. And also, the telecom network is also very stable. in case someone cannot make a call, they will complain. So this is much stable than the other networks. So even in the future, deployed NB-IoT, it's also very stable, or also very reliable. The second benefit is the security. So security, just now I introduced you to have the authentication to the devices. So it can prevent the hacker attack and prevent the digital crime. The third benefit is that it have very few power consumption. The battery life can be used up to 10 years. And the next advantage is have a super coverage, which has 20 dB more than the GSM network. And the last advantage is it have a super connections. So let's take a GSM, for example. In one cell, if the GSM only have one TRX, maximum it can only have 8 connections because it's only have 8 channels. And even for the 3G, one cell can only have 120 connections. But for the NB-IoT, in one cell can have 100K connections because it's using kind of a narrowband technology. And the network element is very small. More and more users can share this resource. Okay, this is the key advantage of this technology. And then let's make a comparison with the other low power, wide area technology. So we know that we have the other kind of technology support low power and wide area, like the Sigfox and the LoRa. But compared with these technologies, the NB-IoT have much more advantage. The first is the investment. So for the Sigfox and the LoRa, you have to deploy an overlay network. You need to install the site, install the antennas in your country, right? But for the NB-IoT, it's you can reuse the IoT network. You can reuse the antenna, the baseband unit, and IF module. You don't have any additional hardware cost. So this is the first benefit. The second is the throughput. You know, for some of the LPWA technologies, for example, Sigfox only provide the uplink data. They don't have downlink coverage. But for the NB-IoT, it can provide both uplink and downlink. And the third advantage is the coverage. Just now I already said that NB-IoT have a 20 dB gain compared to GSM. And for some other technology, only have 30 dB gain. And the last one is about network reliability and security. So you know, because the Sigfox and the LoRa are using the unlicensed spectrum. What does it mean? So for example, everybody can use this kind of spectrum. So for example, if in case of the smart meter, right? If I turn on the Wi-Fi, it might interfere with the smart meter. So the quality cannot be guaranteed. But the NB-IoT using the licensed spectrum, so for example, if Vodafone owns this spectrum, nobody else can use it. So it have no interference. The quality can be guaranteed. Okay, then let me introduce the standard progress about this technology. Actually, Huawei and Vodafone raised the proposal about this technology to 3GPP in May 2014. And in September this year, 3GPP has already accepted it to be the work item. And hopefully in June next year, the NB-IoT technology in the standard will be frozen. So in Q3 next year, the NB-IoT will be commercialized. And actually, the NB-IoT is a big market, have a very long tail ecosystem, and have many kind of applications. So it could have thousands of devices because the NB-IoT module can integrate with any sensors. And for application point of view, it could have hundreds of applications. So Huawei is focused on the network. So that's why we need more and more partners, including the device partner and the application platform partner and the vertical companies to jointly develop this market. And right now, we already have cooperation with a few companies. Right now, we already cooperated with NIU and with uBlocks to provide a chipset and provide the NB-IoT module. So with this module, it's easy for the device companies to produce the device. You just need to integrate the sensors together with this module. Then you can produce a device because the module have an open interface to the sensors. And also we have a cooperation with the vertical companies to provide, to develop some applications. So for Huawei network, the platform is open. We can provide the open API to the third parties, to the vertical companies, so that you can develop your own application. So, but maybe some of the company would say, yeah, I prefer to introduce this kind of technology to our platform, but we don't have network. How could we do the integration? How could we do the test? So the answer is here. And Huawei already worked together with our partners, set up 6 open labs in the worldwide. So this open lab, any third party, any device vendor, any application vendor can use this lab to do the integration test so that you can easily to develop the application and devices. The purpose of Huawei is to make the ecosystem more and more mature. To everybody can share this market. Okay, so yesterday I heard one speaker say that I remember it's from Tele2, that right now is not a big company eat a small company. It's not right now. It's the faster company eat a slow company. So NB-IoT is a new opportunity. It's a big opportunity. So we propose that everyone can speed up to develop this market, and Huawei is willing to work together with chip, module, device, platform, and integration companies to jointly this IoT market. Okay, here's my contact information. My name is Jianmin Xu. This is my email address. If you have any question or have some cooperation opportunity, we can contact by email. Thank you very much.